The CZ P07 is my very first handgun that is a double action, single action firearm. So far for the upgrades that I've done to this one, I have the Enforce APL Gen 3, and I just picked up the primary machine compensator for this one as well. I really love compensators, but there are two things that I really have to make sure that a compensator will do in order for me to really trust it. And number one is it needs to cycle with just standard range ammo. Because compensator's primary job is to push the front sights back down faster, one of the byproducts of a compensator on a handgun is reduced recoil. And because of that, you sometimes will get less blowback on the slide, and sometimes your ammo won't cycle. So I want to make sure that it will cycle with range ammunition, and that way I know 100% that it will cycle with the plus P ammo that I use for concealed carry. The next thing that I want to make sure that it does, it really needs to cycle with the OEM guide rod spring. You know, a lot of times you can get reduced power springs and stuff like that. However, I found in my experience, those reduced powered springs, although they do help the gun cycle better and they help it sometimes shoot flatter, the downside is if it's too light, your gun will get stuck sometimes and won't go back into battery, and that is just unnecessary and not qualified for carry. So let's dive up close, let's take a look at the CZ P07 Tactical, and let's take a look at this compensator up close and personal. Then we'll go through some range footage and we will see if this compensator passes my two tests that a comp needs to pass. All right, party people, so here we are up close and personal with both of my Space Force blasters. This is the CZ P10C that we just published a video on about a week or so ago. And I just released my Surefire XH35 weapon light review. So if that's something you would like to check out later, I will put links in the description for it down below. Most notably, I got the CZ P07 Tactical. So with both the CZ P10C and the P07, you can get them in both a standard and a tactical version. And they also have different color frames that you can get as well. You know, finding the black ones is hard enough, so finding the colored frames is sometimes a little bit difficult. Like I mentioned earlier from Big Daddy Unlimited, sometimes things sell out really quick on their website, but they also have a little notification where it's like, email me when something's back in stock. And I literally just checked their website a couple of days ago, and they did have the P07 Tactical in Urban Gray. But like I said, just follow the first link down in the description. Haven't really done a whole lot to it. Another difference between the P07 and P07 Tactical is you get a 17 round magazine instead of the 15 rounds. P07 magazines are super expensive. P10C magazines are not. In the old days, these two magazines weren't interchangeable. However, now they are. I know that the Mag Shack has the P10C 17 and 15 round mags for really good prices. Plus I have a coupon code for them. Just check the first link in the description and you can get the P10C mags, but you can also use them on the P07. So that's good to know. So up close right here, this one does have the factory threaded barrel and not the match grade barrel that the P10C has. And this is the primary compensator specifically designed for the P07. And like I mentioned earlier, guys, it's got to pass two tests in order for me to really recommend a compensator, especially for concealed carry or just outside waistband carry. So we'll go over that here in a bit, but I just wanted to give you guys an up close and personal look at this compensator and kind of compare it to the CZ P10C. So on the left, we got the CZ P10C. On the right, we got the P07. They look very, very similar. There are some differences. You could tell that the square that's cut out on the top on the P07, it is a little bit wider. The dimensions are slightly different. So I don't think you could just buy one or the other and put them, you know, on either gun. Right up here, you can see there is a flattened off chamfer right here, whereas the P10C does not have that. So that's very interesting to note as well. So here's a closer look at the P07 barrel. It's got a beautiful coating on it and it's holding up actually quite well. I've been very surprised with it. But on this one, I've been running the Enforce APL. If you guys are new to the channel and you haven't really been watching any of my videos, I prefer these paddles over any other style of activation switches on any weapon light. I'm not gonna tell you that the Enforce APL is the best weapon light to get, but it is my all-time favorite, mainly because of these paddles. On the bottom here, you have your set screws. They go in at a 45-degree angle, just like they do on the P10C, which I prefer that as well, but you can tell there is a little bit of a difference in gap. Another thing that's interesting about both the P10C as well as the P07 compensator, they both match the profile of the slide very well. And it looks, I mean, they were literally made for this gun. Let's take a look at some range footage. Let's see how it cycles. Let's see if it can cycle 100%. Then we'll talk about future modifications and things like that. Then we'll wrap up this video. Back up top, the Space Blaster version 2. Getting used to that double action pull is quite an adjustment, especially when you're coming from striker fire pistols like Glocks, M&Ps, and things like that. And it's even an adjustment coming from the 1911, because even when it's in the single action mode, it's not going to be quite as good as a 1911 trigger. One thing I can say about the CZ P07 is right now I have 500 rounds through it. When I did the original video, I only had about 150. Once you start getting about 500 rounds through it, the double action pull as well as the single action pull really start to smooth out a lot. So that's a good thing. I probably will be doing some upgrades to the trigger. And right now, I don't know what kind of stipple job I'm going to get. I've had quite a few companies that I've worked with in the past offer to stipple it, but part of me wants to try something new, you know, because I don't want to just always review the same companies. I like to try new companies out that I've never experienced before. So I'm still undecided about who's going to stipple it or who's going to do the slide work, but we'll find out in the future. As far as the compensator is concerned,
I know, it's heavy, isn't it? Let me have this like, stretch your arm. Yeah, it's not that easy.
It functions 100% flawlessly, runs like a champ with the standard 9mm range ammo, 115 grain. Big shout out to Fancy Brass Ammo for sending out that 9mm for testing and evaluation with these guns. I'm not gonna tell you need to go out and buy Fancy Brass Ammo, but I can tell you this, it is remanufactured ammo. I found it to be some of the cleanest and most consistent remanufactured ammo I've ever tried. Now, with that being said, it's not like somebody's just like reloading it, you know, in their garage. Fancy Brass Ammo is a big establishment and they do a lot of ammo for big companies. So just a heads up on that. If that's something you're interested in, just follow the first link down in the description. You can find everything you need to know about that. So that's good. It functions, cycles 100% reliably with the 115 grain range ammo, and it also functions 100% reliably with the OEM guide rod spring. So it passes both of my tests. With the P10C, I didn't get the tactical version that comes with a threaded barrel. So I bought the match grade barrel and the comp together from Primary Machine. But with this one, I did purchase the tactical version and it does have a threaded barrel. Primary Machine also makes match grade barrels for this one as well. But if you can have it your way, like let's just say you don't have a CZ P07 or P10C yet, if you can find one, just buy the one with the threaded barrel, because it's going to be a lot cheaper to go that route than it will be to buy an aftermarket match grade barrel and then get the compensator. So just a FYI on that. One thing I will say is, although I'm having a hard time getting used to the CZ P07, I am really accurate with it. I mean, I am just accurate as balls. It is pretty crazy, and it might have to do with the type of sights that are on it. Not 100% sure. The break is really far back in comparison to my Glocks. So it's something that I'm just like, huh, that's weird. But every time I pull the trigger, I hit dead nuts accurate on where I was aiming. So that is a huge plus. But let me know down in the comments, guys, what do you guys think of this compensator? What kind of upgrades do you think we should do to the CZ P07 moving forward? Is there any specific stipple company you'd like to see or slide company that does P07s? There's only one trigger company, and I'm sure you guys already know who that is, and that's Cajun Gun Works. I haven't even had a chance to reach out to them. Sorry for the boxes back here. We are getting ready to move. Super excited to work on the Space Force Blaster 2.0 and the 1.0. And if you guys really like this video, I really appreciate it if you hit that little like button down below. But if you don't like it, feel free to hit the dislike button. Either way, it tells the algorithm that this video is getting a lot of attention. Whether you like it or dislike it, it's gonna help me. And if you're not subscribed already, just go ahead and hit the little subscribe button down below. It ain't gonna bite you. Until next time, you guys stay sexy, and I love you.